What's going on, guys, in the works? And yes, the day is finally here. The first Aftermath video on my channel, supplied to me by my good buddy Luton, who happens to have a PS3 and Premium, and he is going to be posting Battlefield 3 Aftermath all week. So if you're looking to get a constant supply of content, go over there and check him out because he does do some really good Battlefield 3 stuff as well as some other gaming stuff. But Aftermath is the hot topic today, and I wanted to do this video because I kind of like to jot down my thoughts about a DLC, about what I've seen so far before I actually get my hands on it. I did this with Armor Kill, I did this with Close Quarters, and it was really popular with you guys. I like to do this because, you know, I've got plenty of fans out there that can supply me with gameplay, can let me sit down and look and kind of dissect it a little bit, and that's what I'm doing here. Luton was nice enough to give this to me, and I was going to ask one of you guys for it, but he was like, you know what, just take this, go check it out. And I was like, wait, G3 gameplay? I cannot say no to that. You guys know I love the underused weapons, and I thought this would be a perfect gameplay because it was Conquest. And it really gives you a good look at the Epicenter map, one of the maps that I am most intrigued by throughout this Aftermath DLC. But I wanted to do this as kind of a look back. You know, I can look back at this and say, well, this is my first thoughts on Aftermath before having played it. Now having played it, how has my opinion changed? And off the bat, I look at a lot of these environments and I'm like, wow, DICE really did a good job, you know, going in, making environments that are really detailed, really nice to look at. And this isn't even on PC, this is on PS3. And I think DICE did a really fantastic job of making these kind of, you know, cracked out buildings, all these different elements that are kind of destroyed. You know, you can see the rubble leading back up into the cityscape. And I think that looks amazing. From all the maps I've seen, they all seem to play out really well too. Now, like I said, I picked Conquest here because it's going to give you a better look at some of the areas of the map. A lot of times with Rush, you only see certain aspects of a map. I mean, I know a lot of people who have played Rush just pretty religiously. They don't even know some areas of the map exist on Conquest, and that's kind of a shame because there's a lot of cool areas of different maps that people don't see if they only play Rush. But one of the most frequent tweets and Facebook messages I've actually gotten today is just how awesome this DLC is. A lot of you guys just cannot contain your excitement for how much fun you're having with this particular one, and that's really awesome for me to see. I'm really glad to see that, I said this was going to be awesome. I said that I thought it was really going to play out to be one of our best ones yet, and it seems to be the case. I think a lot of you guys are really enjoying this particular DLC. I think it's actually breathing some life back into Battlefield 3. I've seen a lot of people who I know haven't been playing Battlefield 3. You know, you guys leave comments on my videos saying, I don't really play Battlefield 3, I only watch your videos, but I've seen a lot of you guys coming back to Battlefield 3 and giving it a second chance. But from what I've seen out of all the content out there, you know, I've watched a lot of live streams today, I've watched a lot of different videos, and from that I can see that there's a lot of variation in the gunplay and in the areas, the environments. It seems like there's a lot of mixes of close quarters engagements, you know, those long lines of sight, and a lot like what we expected. You know, I kind of predicted that these maps were going to end up playing a lot like Carcan. You know, the lead developer said if you were going to base the map size off Carcan, that would be an accurate assumption. So I'm actually kind of pleased from what I've seen. It seems like there is a good blend of close quarters fighting, there's a good blend of long lines of sight, and it seems to be a lot more tactical than a lot of the maps that we've gotten. Now, I'm not against close quarters engagements, not at all. I think that that's fine for the game. You know, the close quarters DLC had good intentions, but I just don't feel like it was very tactical. Whereas this, you know, you've got the flanking routes. You know, you can flank down the alleyways, you can move around buildings, you can go over the rubble, and that's really intriguing to me. And one thing I can confirm though is I talked about how there's going to be a lot of level fighting in these maps, and from this footage, from some of the other footage that you can find floating out there, you'll definitely see that that is the case. There's a lot of portions of these maps that are like cracked out buildings that have staircases that go up really high. It kind of reminds me of if you took the wall off the TV tower on Sharkey Peninsula and you kind of stuck it in some of these urban environments, you would get a very similar feeling area. And I think that's kind of where the Carcan plays back into it. A lot of people say that, you know, with Carcan, the best thing about it is you could use any sort of weapon you want. If you wanted to snipe, there was long lines of sights for sniping. If you wanted to play Assault, there's plenty of roles you can play with Assault. And oh, this area of the map is really cool, I think. You know, how you can cut through there with the construction. It's just the way that was thought out. I thought that was really cool. I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, you could, you know, if you wanted to snipe, you go out there and snipe. If you wanted to play medic and revive people and play Assault, there's plenty of opportunities for that. If you wanted to be an engineer, there was plenty of vehicles to deal with, and you weren't going to get outgunned by Assault because there were some, you know, medium range engagements where the engineer weapons could actually excel. But then you've got support, and support is, in my eyes, the least played class. But for some reason, you know, it seems like to me, I think LMGs are going to be really crucial on a lot of these maps because there are some choke points, especially if you're playing Rush. I think LMGs will be really effective on a lot of these areas. There's going to be a lot of, like, you know, the rubbles, the overhangs, stuff like that. Good spots for bipod, good spots for kind of just locking down an area and providing, quote, support. So from what I've seen so far, these maps are really, really awesome. But Rush was one of the things that kind of killed Armor Kill for me. Now, I did enjoy that particular DLC. It had its moments, but the fact that you could not play Rush because of the AC-130, it just felt so broken to me. It kind of ruined my experience with Armor Kill. And oh, he just got killed by the Expo back there. I will talk about that towards the end of the video. But yeah, Rush seems to play pretty decently on this. Now, this is Conquest gameplay. Like I said, I've already pointed out a couple times why I picked Conquest, but Rush seems to play really well in this. I watched about an hour and a half of a guy on Twitch streaming some Rush gameplay, and I was actually like, okay, yes, this is awesome. You know, I can finally play my favorite game type again, and that was, like I said, that was what kind of killed Armor Kill for me. So it'd be nice to use all the game types once again. Armor Kill kind of became just Conquest. I mean, that was really what it was. So if you didn't feel like playing Conquest or maybe like a TDM, you really didn't have much to work with. Whereas this, you can play Rush, you can play TDM, you can play Conquest, you can play Conquest Assault, you can play Scavenger. Heck, I don't even know. Maybe they'll work gun game into this or something. Wishful thinking. I'm sure DICE will only stick to Close Quarters with gun game. But one thing I did want to point out though is one concern I have over it is the Expo. I've been watching a lot of stuff, and I've already seen an Expo collateral. So that's kind of got me worried about the Expo. I'm worried that it's going to be just a little bit overpowered. I don't know. It's tricky to balance something like that because, you know, it's got a slow reload. Maybe they might have to change the trajectory, make it a little bit harder to aim with it or something like that. But right now, I'm kind of concerned a little bit with that. So hope you guys did enjoy these first little impressions from the gameplay. Like I said, go over there and check out Luton. He's going to be doing plenty of Battlefield 3 Aftermath throughout the week. And if you missed any of my videos, now's a chance to catch up. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.